I think the biggest injustice is when someone faces a challenge or they are sort of hurt or inflicted various atrocities, but you do not have a solution, or you do not have someone to speak for you.
Every one of us has magic inside of us, a sparkle that will bring about change in our communities, in our society, and in our own lives. I know every one of us desires to, make the world a better place, but we don't know how, we don't know where to begin. And it all starts or happens when you move your ideas into actions. So change makers are innovators, change makers are doers. Of Cherry's View, I bring to you a change maker, a young person who has been, doing so much to bring about media and information literacy, educating young people and giving them space to express themselves and, to make the world a better place for others. Winnie Kabintie has been nominated as a nominee of the top 35 under 35, a category she won under media, and she was also nominated for 4 awards this year, and you know what? She declined. Please allow me to introduce to you Winnie Kabintie. Karibu Winnie, and thank you so much for finding time to have this conversation with me.
Thank you very much, Terry. So in a nutshell, Winnie Kabintie is a youth media advocate. I'm passionate about championing media and information literacy so that I can empower young people especially to be active citizens. And I do this through various platforms that I'll be telling you more about.
What really comes to your mind when people say, I'm a change maker? And why do you consider yourself a change maker?
That's a good question, Terry. I think a change maker is a person, or rather I believe a change maker is a person who works towards making the spaces or their community better, regardless of the circumstances. Because, many people will sit down and criticize and, find excuses, but a change makers looks at the challenges and finds solutions to those challenges. So that's what makes a change maker.
Why do you consider yourself a change maker?
I consider myself a change maker, particularly in the digital media space, because I work towards enhancing knowledge equity. And for me, I believe that information is power, and what you do not know cannot help you. So I wake up every day asking myself, how can I enhance knowledge and ensure that this knowledge is even accessible to everyone. We know that the digital media space has grown tremendously, and this is one of the places where people are looking for information. So in terms of even creating the content that we put in these digital media spaces, I am very deliberate about especially appealing to the needs of young people. And sometimes I ask myself, if someone is going online, I look at her demographic, I look at research. If someone is going online, what are some of the things that they would probably be looking for? What kind of information? And I work towards curating information that can be informative in that area. And also, I do this through different platforms like the Kenya Forum magazine, which is, I work as the digital editor. So that's one of the platforms where I publish content on various issues, gender, politics, social change, you name it. And there's also Wikipedia, which is like the biggest, one of the 5th most searched websites on the internet,
Right.
and it's also like the leading online encyclopedia. So I generate content towards that, and I'm also very deliberate again on bridging the gender gap in Wikipedia. So I will write more about women. I will write more about things that women have achieved and those kind of things.
So talking about, advancing free knowledge, will you be kind enough to share with us more about this? What is this free knowledge that you keep talking about?
Free knowledge, Terry, is knowledge that is accessible regardless of your location, regardless of your physique, regardless of your gender. So it's all about also availing knowledge in different platforms, different sources, so that everyone, regardless of their landscapes, they're able to consume it. Maybe computers in some of the public libraries, so that everyone can still access that information.
True.
Yeah.
True. So.
Oh, and also, sorry, something else about we were talking about knowledge equity, right?
Yeah.
And free knowledge. Also, it's all about curating information, also in languages that people are able to understand. Because like right now we will say we can have all the information we want in English, but then that can leave a few people, quite a number of people, limited, because they probably in our country understand Swahili and others only understand their mother tongue.
I know there are so many young people out there who look up to you or wish they were, in your space. But then they forget, it has taken so much effort to get to where you are. And I know you're not where you want to be. You still have a long way to go and so much goals and dreams to achieve. What is it that you did to identify these opportunities? Maybe you can share some of the, tricks into this thing.
Yeah, that's a very good observation, Terry. It's so easy to look at people and admire the final product, and most young people do not actually realize that Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look at the positive outcomes, or as we say, all the positive vibes that you guys see on social media. But one thing that people need to pay attention to is all the work and efforts people put behind the scenes. So for me, I would say one of the ways I was able to, carve a niche for myself in the digital media space, first by research. And then two, also by engaging with different people who are not necessarily your peers, but also people who you look up to as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not enough to just admire someone, but also find out what you can learn from that person. So I was looking at, and also I was looking at the challenges that I felt especially at that time I was just a young media graduate. So I was looking at the challenges that I was seeing in mainstream media, and I thought, how could I leverage on these challenges to make the society better? We need to be part of this conversation. So that is how I was able to see, and create platforms like now Voice It with Winnie Kabintie, so that at least we have real-time platforms in emerging new media platforms that can give us a platform to have such kind of conversations. And also in terms of the influence, the change that I want to make. I want to use my influence in the social media space for positive change. So I think for me that was the key thing that actually drove me to carve a niche for myself. If you're wondering how to, venture out from your cocoon or, expand your networks, actually, I would encourage you first, be very open-minded, be out and be deliberate about what you are looking for. And then secondly, the power of volunteering. Volunteering, I know it's something we don't like as young people, because first we are jobless. How will you volunteer and then you don't even have where to go and do that work that you're volunteering in?
Show me the money. Show me the money. That's all we think of.
But sometimes invest. It's called investment in your personal and professional skills. Volunteering will help nurture your professional skills, it will help you expand your networks, and it will also open your mindset to different opportunities and experiences around you.
So speaking of embracing opportunities, you are a moderator and an organizer of the just concluded Wikimania Global Conference, and you hosted, or rather you were the one who was moderating a session that was very key during the closing ceremony, where Dr. Tedros, the director of the World Health Organization, was speaking. So tell us about that. How was your experience?
Thanks, Terry. So for purposes of our viewers, Wikimania is an annual conference for the Wikimedia community, bringing together Wikimedians across the globe to gather and celebrate and share knowledge. So I had the honor of being one of the 6 members of the Wikimania 2021 co-organizing team, and it was a great experience for me to learn. These are like professionals from different areas across the globe, so I got an opportunity to engage and collaborate with them towards bringing the 2021 Wikimania to life. And one of the opportunities that I also had during Wikimania is the room to moderate a session. It was the closing session of the last day, and we had a nice panel of speakers lined up, so just getting to introduce them was really an experience for me. So one of the areas that I've actually been seeking to grow in my professional career is moderating conferences. So actually getting that opportunity, an international moderation experience, that was something that I will cherish for days. As we mentioned in the previous conversation, volunteering, it's not always about money, it's also about the things that you stand to gain from that volunteer role, the knowledge, the people you stand to meet. And actually, were it not for the fact that I volunteered, and especially to provide communication support during the planning and during Wikimania as well, I would not have gotten that opportunity to moderate that session, because people accord opportunities to the people around, or to the people that they know about. And actually, speaking about opportunities that even came out of that exposure, I just recently got appointed, or rather, for lack of a better word, maybe appointed is not the word, but yes, I just recently got appointed, actually, it's actually the right word, as one of the representatives of the Wiki Women User Group. And this is a role I never went out to, look for it. It just found me.
Wow.
And, it's just by putting yourself out there that people are able to know about you and your skills.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. There is so much change that happens in terms of technology. You wake up and something new has come up. How do you keep yourself abreast of the many technological changes, especially in terms of, especially in the media space?
I get it, Terry, and it's a good question that you've asked, and I'm glad that you've actually asked it. So this one I'll actually address it to our audience, because I know most of them are watching, and also you're asking how can you constantly improve on your knowledge. Improving, you have to constantly keep improving and enhancing your knowledge. Things are happening so fast in this 4th industrial revolution. So the prior to the 4th industrial revolution, we had other things that actually drove the revolution of things. But now in the 4th industrial revolution, it's technology that is driving things. And so you have to constantly go online. The online platform is the one place that will help you enhance your knowledge. That's one. Secondly, engage with industry stakeholders. And I know you will ask, where do I find the industry stakeholder? It's not all the time. I know people always think, okay, I'm following Terry, so I will slide into her DM. That's one of
they
the
are
ways.
unreachable.
They're unreachable.
Yeah.
People are busy out here, and it's hard to keep up. So DMs don't always work. Actually, there are more professional ways. If you're really keen into professionalism, there are other professional ways to reach out to people. Nowadays, people are in platforms like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very professional.
Yeah.
You can go read someone's profile and reach out to them in a professional way. The other thing is attend industry related events. This could be workshops, this could be conferences, this could be trainings. So you have to constantly keep enhancing your knowledge and trying to increase your network. Yeah, so those are some of the major tips that I'll give you that have actually helped me, and they continue to help me.
In a nutshell, we are talking about mentorship. Mentorship is very, very key to people who want to scale their careers to the next level. Tell us who your mentor is. Who do you look up to? And what can someone look for in a mentor?
Great. Yes, mentors have a crucial role in helping us to be better individuals, all-rounded. So I particularly do not have like a specific person. I'll say this is a mentor, this is all-round, but I have a few people who serve in different capacity that I reach out to for consultation, engagement, and one of them is my immediate boss actually. So he is the managing editor of the Kenya Forum Online. So this is a top PR guru with international experience. So I gather a lot of experiences and knowledge from him. And I also have a former employer who is the managing director of a publishing house, Aura Publishers. So I constantly reach out to him as well to ask for his ideas and also input in various things. And every day you will realize, Terry, as you network, you come across people who will be beneficial to you in one way or another. And you are also one of the people that I actually engage and consult a lot, especially when it comes to this area of content development and communications aspect. So every time there will always be different people within your circle that you can reach out to, or who can insert some level of knowledge to you. And most of the time people even think that, your mentor has to be someone who is, I don't know where, like the head of the country, the president, director of UN and what have you.
I know.
Like
the who's and who's.
First. Exactly. Before you even look out to, I need a mentor, because some people don't even know what they want in mentors. You need to do a SWOT analysis of yourself, know your strength, know your weaknesses, and then find out what is it that I need nurtured in me, and what kind of person will help nurture me in this. You might even be surprised to realize that your colleague next door, even your neighbor next door, is that person that you actually need. So learn to look at I call it the horizontal level when you're looking at mentors, not just all the time it's vertical.
So we've spoke so much about this free knowledge and all that, but also let's shift gears and look at another area that's very close to your heart, menstrual health management. Hey, this girl is fire on these issues.
Thank you very much, Terry, for bringing that out, because it's part of a conversation that forms my day-to-day life. Menstrual health management. JustAPad Initiative. I'm the founder of the JustAPad Initiative. We founded it in 2017. And JustAPad empowers marginalized women and girls in street families and in the slums on menstrual health and also sexual and reproductive health rights. And we also work on teen mentorship programs.
Will you mind sharing with us some of the challenges that you have experienced in your endeavor to bring about social change in the society?
Engaging with young people, and especially in those kind of communities, the marginalized community and the slums, you actually get to realize that some of the things that you actually see as normal in your life actually not so normal. And you also get to realize that these are people, or this is a demographic that is exposed to different realities that are quite different. So one of the things that you even get to notice is even how these people, the young people, and most of them are actually adolescents, how they carry themselves out. Like there's a lot of them with that don't care attitude, and it takes you a moment of engaging with them, or even understanding where they're coming from, to realize they are not just hardcore or carrying that don't care attitude because they want to, or because they are rude, but to realize they need it for survival in their kind of environments. I would sort of call it a challenge, because it's easy as a mentor to actually feel like there's actually no hope here, because sometimes you will tell a person, you need to abstain, you need to work hard in school, and even for cases where people have dropped out of school, it requires a very dedication when it comes to sensitization and dealing with them, to even change those mindsets. And also there's the issue of the teens not feeling good enough, because they are growing up in environments where first there's no one to affirm them, because most of the time, you can imagine the parent is out there hustling, hana hiyo time ya affirm you, tell you you're good. In fact, the only time you have engagements with the parents is when they are condemning you for mistakes that you've done, or they are also frustrated because of harsh economic situations. So you deal with a lot of teenagers with broken and low self-esteem, and so you have to work with them through that journey. So I'll say those are some of the major things. And also the aspect of I think for us it will also, as an organization, or rather as an institution, it will be the aspect of finances, because this is something that we do because we are passionate about it. But then you need funds for sanitary towels, you need funds to even coordinate your team activities, provide transport for the volunteers and those kind of things. So sometimes it can actually be a challenge to manage this without a fund or a kitty that we will say this is the JustAPad kitty.
So somebody like you, at such a young age, are there steps that helped you to move from I need to make a difference, I need to change this?
We can never be comfortable, yeah. And I think for me, and especially growing in a third world country, there are so many things that you see going wrong that you feel you cannot just be complacent.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that was one of the things that actually drove me into this, and even inspired for me to pursue a career in media. I always knew that I wanted to be a journalist or a lawyer. And if you see these two things are similar, in the sense of you're advocating for people's rights. And because as a kid I've always been this person wa kutetea haki za watu. So I would always question, even as a child. I think the biggest injustice is when someone faces a challenge, or they are sort of hurt or inflicted various atrocities, but you do not have a solution, or you do not have someone to speak for you, because either you do not know the steps that you need to take, you don't know the processes, you don't know your rights.
I know there are so many people out there who really desire to see a change in the environments they live in, a change in their communities, a change in our own country, and most definitely a change in the entire world. But how can they identify these opportunities and actually take a step to actualize these ideas in their heads?
Number one, do not ever wait for perfect conditions because it will never happen. Yeah. So the best way to do it is to get started. Once you get started, you learn actually how to do it without the things that you thought you needed in order to do it. And also put yourself out there, invest in yourself, invest in your skills. I know you wake up, most of us wake up every day, and the first thing you want to do is go to social media, check out the latest memes, you know, and enjoy. There's the social side of social media, but also be very deliberate in networking and also learning, using digital media platforms to learn. And if you're in business, also leverage on your social media platforms actually to market your craft, sell your wares, and lastly, continue investing in knowledge. Knowledge never grows old. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube channels like this one, which are quite meaningful, and learn. Just go to Google, learn a new thing, go to Coursera, learn a new skill. So those will be my parting shots.
You know, it's not always about money, it's not always about power, and it's not always about prestigious positions. Anyone, anywhere can be a change maker, beginning with yourself, right there where you are, in your own space, in your own community. You need to identify a social issue that has been bothering you for some time or even for long, and you will want to bring about change in terms of, making the community or the world a better place, creating a better space for yourself and for everyone else. It's been an exciting moment to have, you on my show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Now, please leave your social media handles for people to subscribe and get to, be informed about what you are up to.
Thank you, Terry. So on YouTube, you'll find me Voice It with Winnie Kabintie. That's my YouTube channel. And in Facebook, it's Winnie Kabintie. Instagram, Winnie Kabintie. And on Twitter, it's Winnie Kabintie. Actually, how you type it is Kabintie, but the I is usually silent.
Kana Kabintie, Binti, yes, Kabintie, Kabintie, Kamenizi.
Kamekuchanua. So,
Kamekuchanua.
So, without Kabintie, huchanua as you.
Yeah. So, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please subscribe, please share this video, and remember, you all have got the potential to be a change maker. We need to make this world a better place. We need to fix this country. We need to make it better for us, for our generations, and for our future generations. Right. Until next time, this is Terry's View. Bye-bye.
Bye. Subscribe.